right, I am so honored to be joined by the one and only Babybay. What's good, King? How you feeling, man?
Bro? Feeling good.
Feeling good? For those who don't know, let's start off with your illustrious gaming career. Let's go back to the beginning, man.
My first ever game was Halo.
Okay.
That was the series that got me hooked. And I was a big hockey player my whole life because of my dad. And he got an Xbox. And ever since then, I was just popping off. So I played my first tournament at a GameStop.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
okay.
When I was I don't know how old I was.
What'd you place?
Halo 3. I got first. I beat all these adults. My mom was like, what is going on right now? Maybe this is it. From Xbox, I moved to PC, found this game called Crossfire. Went to my first international LAN at the age of 15. I went to China.
You've been doing it for a good minute.
Yeah,
Here I am at 15 pushing carts at Walmart. This guy's already living the pro gaming lifestyle.
Yeah, I was gaming for a while, man.
So what brought you to Overwatch? How'd you land on that game?
I heard that Blizzard was creating an FPS game.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is sick. And around the same time, I was kind of just getting sick of my game, and I was like, the next big game that comes out, I'm just gonna grind it, and that's it. That's gonna be the one.
So last year, we had this crazy challenge for a good cause called the Babybay Challenge, man.
Yeah.
How did that whole thing happen? Because didn't it start with you just posting a picture on Instagram?
Yeah, it was my first ever post on Instagram. And I just uploaded this old selfie of me looking like this.
Yeah.
With my
Look at that camera.
All black and white. And you know what? We saw the traction it was getting, and the Shock and I decided, why not make this into a good cause? And mental health awareness was one of the things that we looked at. We got Shaq to do it. We got even Ninja to do it. So it's just wonderful that people were so willing to spread this around and do this for a good cause.
Let's talk about your time with the San Francisco Shock and kind of that first year for you, man. How was that?
So we had high expectations ourselves, especially me. I feel like when we actually hit the stage and we didn't do as good as we expected, I went downhill after that. I was just so broken. I couldn't believe how, where we were at with the amount of time we had to practice. I thought we were gonna be way better. I used to show up 2 hours earlier to practice every day.
Yeah.
I started showing up just on time. And this just all spiraled down. I became probably the worst player I ever was, around stage 2. And then that's why I got benched ultimately, I believe. So I took a little time off, and I really just got my head together, and then I just started grinding hard again. And I started stage 4. So all that hard work I put back in, I found that passion again, that ignite,
Babybay just wrecking people right now.
Babybay was hungry for that kill, and he gets it in the end.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on. You find out you're being moved over to the Atlanta Reign. What's going through your head as you're processing this news?
It was pretty last minute, but it was also pretty mutual. I could have stayed on Shock if I wanted to, but I wanted to play. I wanted to be in the light. I could have sat there on the bench and been on the best team in the league, right?
Yeah.
But what does that do for me? I'm here to compete,
Some highlights of the stage, man. The NYXL twice, dude.
So the first game, the night before, I actually had a dream that I was holding a mic, getting interviewed right after the game was over.
Yeah.
And I was like, that just happened. And then we won, actually.
Yeah.
Atlanta Reign, the first team to take down NYXL.
All right, so going into game 2, beating someone twice is tough, dog. It's super tough.
I was more nervous the second time around, I'm not gonna lie. Because I was it's New York, right? We beat them the first time.
They're mad now.
They're gonna prepare, and they're mad, exactly. First fight comes around. They end up on top, I think, of the first fight. And then we retake the point, and I see Jay Jonak use his trance with 3 of his teammates dead. And at that moment, I was like, these guys are scared.
They're scared. Hey, we can just go main. We just go main. Wait for me. Okay, no problem.
And then I was like, we're just gonna take it and run with it, and that's it. That's what we did.
Atlanta Reign, they shut down NYXL again.
So what do you think has been the biggest lesson that you've learned throughout your gaming journey?
I think it's just being more professional and understanding this is my profession and stuff like that.
Basically, professionalism and being a professional is kind of the biggest thing you've learned, but what's been your biggest takeaway?
I would just say, make sure whatever you're doing, you do what you love. You know what I mean? If you don't love what you do, you are not gonna put 100% into it, and then why are you even doing it? If I didn't love gaming, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yes, sir, spoken like a true king.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Dude,
Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you around.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Definitely will.
Definitely.